GQ released an interesting article recently, basically summarising every single piece you need for the ultimate perfect wardrobe. And I'm talking top to bottom, 50 plus pieces. It's very comprehensive. I think they got a lot right, but there's also one or two things I'd personally change to make it more efficient and affordable. And it's a question I receive all the time. How can I build a new wardrobe from scratch? So today I want to go through their entire list with my personal recommendations and changes. And hopefully it'll either help you start again or add to what you already have. Like I said, there's quite a few things to go through, so I won't spend too much time on each one. And also keep in mind, you don't need every single one of these pieces, in my opinion anyway. But I will leave links to every single piece mentioned in the description box below, in case you want to check them out for yourselves. Their article is split up really randomly, so the first thing I'm going to do is group them together in a logical order, starting with pants. Surprisingly, they only have 3 pairs of pants on their list, but I'm in total agreement with all of them. Number 1, Levi's 501s, the most popular pair of jeans ever made. Timeless straight cut. Get them in the classic blue colour and go vintage as well to save yourself some money. Number 2, vintage fatigue pants. Again, will never go out of style and are so versatile. Look specifically for some OG 107s. You can buy them new as well from places like Stan Ray if you prefer. 3, vintage chinos. Perfect for your slightly smarter occasions or for somewhere like the office. My personal recommendation is the Ralph Lauren Andrew pants. Relaxed but not too baggy and really comfortable. Let's move on to t-shirts next, and I think this is the first place where GQ have missed a trick. First up is a ringer tee. I agree with this one. They're unique and stand out with their design and contrast colouring. There's a lot of nice vintage ones out there as well. Second is a pocket tee. I somewhat disagree here. It's completely personal, but I just prefer a plain t-shirt without the pocket. It's much more sleek and versatile. Third is a polo, specifically a Ralph Lauren one. I think people either love these or hate these, so again, personal choice. I think Fred Perry or Lacoste are nice options as well though. Fourth, a ribbed tank top, and I'm 100% behind this. Ribbed tanks are super useful, especially as we go into spring and summer. The one thing missing from their list is a plain white t-shirt, which surprises me. I know it's kind of overplayed, but they are without a doubt one of the most essential pieces you can own, so I'd switch out the pocket tee for a nice plain white tee. Something like the Supima cotton tee from Uniqlo, or of course the Mers B215 if you want something a bit more luxury. Next up are button-up shirts, an essential for any guy's wardrobe. They listed 4, and I totally agree with them. 1, an Oxford cloth button-down. The defining features of course being that basket weave fabric and collar that buttons down onto the shirt. I personally wouldn't be so specific here, just any casual cotton shirt is what you need. Vintage Ralph Lauren should be your first port of call when searching for one. 2, a white dress shirt. Yep, can't argue with this. Since it's going to be worn for nicer occasions, it might be worth buying new, or at least ensuring the condition is very good if buying second hand. I personally love my Brooks Brothers one. 3, a chambray shirt. I bought my first chambray last summer and it was totally worth it. Looks a bit like denim but is way more breathable. A great shirt for spring and summer. Worth checking out eBay for some vintage ones, but you can also find them new at Ralph Lauren, Oslo and Levi's. 4, a madras shirt. Again, this is more of a warm weather shirt, but honestly can be worn any time of the year. Especially popular for that Ivy school style. Howlin, Beams Plus, Double RL are all great places to shop for a madras shirt. Next up are shoes, and they've included quite a few on their list, which I think can be narrowed down. First up, loafers. Needless to say, I'm on board with this. Really classic, versatile, smart. I like the ones from Sebago. Second are flip-flops. They have 100% put these in just because they're on trend. I bet if this list had been made 2 years ago, then we wouldn't see flip-flops on here. I'm not totally against flip-flops, but only at the beach or swimming pool for me. Third, they have boat shoes. I'm not in agreement with this one. I don't think they're essential, and I reckon you could substitute them for loafers on many occasions. Fourth are mules, such as Birkenstock Bostons. While I do have these, I don't really think they're needed. They're a nice to have and add a bit of variety in terms of look and shape though. Fifth are their sneakers of choice, Adidas Sambas. No surprises here, they go with everything and they're easy to get hold of. I'd personally go for a less branded Gat though if possible, something like the Maison Margielas or even a vintage pair. Sixth are cowboy boots. This is very situational. No doubt these will be essential for people living in the southern states of America, for example, but to be honest, you won't see them much in Europe or Asia unless it's for dressing up. They look awesome, but I don't think they're essential. 7th are canvas sneakers. Vans Old Schools, Converse Chuck 70s. Yep, definitely agree with this one. They're a nice, lightweight option for the summer. 8th are slippers. Not exactly a fashion staple, but to be honest, I probably wear my UGG Tasmans and Clark's leather slippers more than any other shoe. So yeah, I'd encourage people to pick up some nice slippers if they can. The big omission from their list is black boots. I can't imagine not owning a pair of black leather boots. They're always on trend, and a good pair will last you a lifetime. Okay, next are shorts. Very important with summer coming up, and I think they've got some decent recommendations. 1. Vintage cargo shorts. Yeah, I like this one. Basically the short version of fatigue pants. Always look good, especially vintage pairs. 2. Trail shorts. So a shorter short which are suitable for hiking or long walks. They've picked Stone Island, which I think is a bit unnecessary. Patagonia 5-inch baggies are all you really need. At number 3, they've gone with swim trunks from a brand called Birdwell. I've not heard of these before, and honestly, they look really nice. Swim trunks are pretty situational, but can be worn in casual outfits as well, so worth getting some nice ones. Number 4, they've gone with Calvin Klein boxer shorts. I can only hope they mean to be worn as underwear, because if they're still talking about the boxer shorts being worn as normal shorts trend, then I hate it. The one thing missing here is potentially denim shorts. I'd probably get those before I bought the boxer shorts, but let me know what you think. Okay, next is one of my favourite subjects, so I was interested to see what they put here. Coats and jackets. First up, I was delighted to see a denim jacket, and specifically the Lee Ryder one. The vintage ones have got to be some of the best value denim jackets out there. I'm in love with mine, and I get so many compliments when I wear it. Second was a leather blouson, and yeah, I think they're right about this. A properly fitting leather jacket is such a statement piece that never goes out of style. I have the R Legacy mini leather jacket, although the MKI Rider jacket looks like a great affordable alternative. Third was another one I've recently talked about for spring, the Burberry trench coat. Pretty much the only long length coat you should consider in spring in my opinion, so you won't regret getting one. Fourth is another spring jacket I talked about, a Gore-Tex shell. Arc'teryx are one of the most popular options here, and it's going to be crucial for the rainy seasons. Fifth is a track jacket. I'm not against these, but I wouldn't have them in my list of essentials. They're a very specific style, not that easy to pair with things in my opinion. So personally, I'd skip this one. Last up is a field jacket, such as a vintage M65. I actually got one of these recently, and while I think they're great, I wouldn't say they're for everyone. They're very obviously military and can take over your whole outfit. Don't get me wrong, people make them look amazing, but it certainly wouldn't be the first coat or jacket I'd get from this list. Next is hoodies and sweatshirts, and they've only gone for 4 here. 1. A sweater vest. Pretty popular look at the moment, especially around springtime as they keep your body warm without overheating. I'm not sure if it's something I'd rush out to buy though. You need to get the right one and it needs to fit you well. 2. A regular cotton crew neck. The one they've listed is absurdly priced. I don't find myself wearing these very often, but I can see why many guys do. I'd personally go for something more affordable like the merino wool sweater from Uniqlo. 3. A rugby shirt. Again, quite a trendy piece at the moment, but no doubt timeless and a great item to have. Vintage Ralph Lauren should be your starting point here if you want to get a good deal. 4. A zip hoodie. Definitely a good thing to have in your closet for those casual days. I really like the ones from Destructive at the moment, but there's an infinite amount of choices out there. The one thing they're missing here in my opinion is an Aran knit or fisherman sweater. They're such classic looks. The ones I wear from Blue de Chauffe and my vintage Irish wool knit get so many compliments. I'd personally switch out the cotton crew neck for one of these instead, but do whatever works for you. For accessories, they've listed so many things, too many in my opinion. I'll just list them all off and then let's talk about them. Duffel bag, canvas tote, dress belt, braided belt, acetate sunglasses, aviator sunglasses, silk tie, gold ring, link bracelet, dress watch, ribbed socks, bandana, baseball cap. Yeah, it feels like they've just literally named every single accessory that exists. The ones I'd pick out as being actually important are a belt of course, and having one that's casual and one that's a bit smarter is a good idea. For casual, I'm loving the McCoy Western Bison belt. For the smarter one, you could go for the classic R Legacy, or the Italian leather belt from Uniqlo for less cost. Sunglasses are a no-brainer. I don't think you need multiple pairs, but you do you. The Jacques Marie Marge ones are absolutely stunning, but very expensive. A silk tie is worth having, but definitely check your thrift stores, charity shops and eBay. I recently got myself a 100% silk Armani tie for around £5. A watch is a nice thing to have and probably one of the most practical things on this list as well. I'm still loving the Cartier Tank, but vintage Omega watches keep catching my eye as well. Colourful socks can be good to add variety. Uniqlo is a great place for these. And finally, baseball caps are a must as well. I really like the woolen Ebbets Fields ones. They just look like they'd be high quality and they're also unique without being too loud. One extra thing I'd probably add is a chain necklace. They're subtle, but give a nice little pop to an outfit when they're just peeking out. The last category in GQ's article are suits, of which they recommend 4. First is a dark navy suit, and I can attest to how versatile these are. I bought a navy suit from Zara like 10 years ago, and I still wear it to this day. Easily the most versatile piece of formal wear that I own. Second, they recommend a navy double blazer. Given that we're already getting a navy suit, I'd switch this out to black, or maybe something textured like a woolen houndstooth. These are plentiful on the secondhand market and are great to wear casually. Third is a tuxedo, and I don't agree with this at all. As good as they look, unless you're often going to black tie events, this is going to be a waste of time and space in your wardrobe. Last up is a linen suit, and the one they recommend is from Stouffer. Apologies for the pronunciation. I do love a linen suit. They have a great casual vibe to them, and you can really dress them down to look smart in the summer. If you think you'll get good use out of it, I'd go ahead and get one. So, that was a hell of a lot to get through, but I think it's a really good list of everything you'll ever need in menswear pretty much. Obviously, I don't think every guy needs to own all of these pieces. Pick and choose what works for you. And let me know down in the comments if you think anything's been missed, if that's even possible. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.